The question is, what is one thing that students can focus on that will really prepare them for work in professional journalism?
All right, well, I'm going to begin with this as now I'm going to begin with this as the department head. Certainly, learning technology, being comfortable with technology, not being afraid to try something new, these are all key elements, and so I don't want to underestimate that. But regardless of the technology that you use, you are going to have to be an excellent communicator, because that is what is going to distinguish you in this field. And so that means that you have to develop good writing skills, and you have to also develop good oral skills. So a lot of those basics that we go back to in our classes, cannot underestimate those at all. I mean, if you're on the athletic field, you go back and you practice basic moves over and over again, and the same thing in communications. So I would stress that.
I would second that too. Technology changes very rapidly, and the technology is different here than it would be, say, at KTAL in Shreveport, and at that station it's different than it would be at the other two stations. So you learn the technology, but know that when you get to a TV station news department, they're going to be using something that you've never heard of. So it goes back, yes, learn the technology, but learn the principles, and that is writing, writing, writing. All journalism goes back to good writing skills, okay? And no matter what the technology and how it evolves, you still have to be a good, clear, concise writer. And the other thing is, and I know some of you sometimes think that it's not that important, but that AP style book should be your Bible. And if you're in broadcast, there's an AP style book for broadcast, because some of it is a little bit different. But I would say writing and AP style.
I would have to say the same thing, writing. If you can't write, you're not going to make it. I don't think it matters if you're in public relations or broadcast journalism or you're writing for a newspaper. I learned that real quick at the station when I started. I like to write, so I had no problem with it, but I think it's more of a compliment to have a great story in the written form rather than the way it's communicated in front of the camera, because if you have that great story on paper, it's going to be great on camera too. So I would definitely say writing, because the technology for your class comes easy. I mean, you're from the world of Facebook and Twitter and all of this, and they didn't have that when I graduated from college. We didn't have Facebook back then. So that's something that we've all had to learn and that we use every day. And yes, when I started editing, we used tape to tape. Now we are all on Avid in our newsroom, so you just got to be willing to learn the technologies, and you never say no, but you've got to write too. You've got to be able to write.
I think while you're here, if you can do what these other ladies have said, explore the technology that you obviously have available in this wonderful facility. Also, when you are developing your writing skills, what worked for me was to find a writer that I really admired and to read as much of their material as I could, not to copy, but to have an idea of the style that I wanted to develop. When you are in a newsroom, AP style is assumed that you know it. So I learned it in college. I know you guys have the style books, use them. I use it every day. But the choice of words that you're going to use, especially in broadcast, you don't have many words to say. I mean, you're in a tight schedule. And newsprint, our news hole, as they call the stories, our words are being cut every day. So be concise and know your AP.
And I would like to add one thing. Sometimes I see students advise students who come in to see me, and they say, I want to go into television news, and I will ask them why. And sometimes they tell me, well, I don't like to write. And so I know that they won't be successful, because writing is very important in broadcast news. I think it is much harder you may have 500 words or 800 words in a news story for print to tell the story. In broadcast, you might not have but 150 words to tell that same story. So you have to be an exceptionally good writer, even though you are taking mostly broadcast news classes.
Next question.
How important is networking while you're in college?
The question is, how important is networking when you're in college?
Networking while you're in college is different for you guys than it was for me, because you probably have 600 or 800 friends on your Facebook, and I knew 3 people in my class. I would think that the first recommendations you're going to be able to get for your resume will be your instructors. Develop a good relationship with everybody that you're around, because you don't know who you're going to run into. As far as carrying those connections on in other careers, you may spread out to all parts of the United States, but somewhere along the line, you're going to run into someone and say, yeah, I knew you. And what the impression that you left that person with the last time will be what they remember when they see you again.
I think it's important to network in college. A lot of my classmates even, and still to this day in our newsrooms, are full of college students who are maybe working a part-time job or whatever just to get their foot in the door to just be in the newsroom and soak up whatever they can. So in that sense, yes, network. Do whatever you can to get the experience that you need, or show someone that you've got the experience and that you're even interested. And then even on your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever you do, people are always watching. So if it's a news story that you've done for News 22, pop it on there, because I'm nosy. I look at all that stuff of who's coming up and who's interested in being a reporter. Bossier Parish Community College is right in our back door. We watch their newscasts all the time just to see what those students are doing. So definitely, if you know someone or are not scared to go talk to them, please go talk to them. Let them know that you're interested.
I think networking is extremely important. Skills and talent and ability are number one at landing a job. But if you don't know people and have contacts, you don't even get your foot in the door a lot of times to get an interview. And I will tell you, as an example of good networking, Shelley graduated 8 years ago. We still stay in very close touch with each other, and so when she walked in this afternoon, she told me they have 2, possibly 3 reporter openings right now at KTAL, and who did I know who had graduated or would be graduating very soon? And so it's all about keeping in contact with people you know, and that network as you work gets broader and broader, and you know more people. And journalists are really good about helping each other find jobs. And so, yes, networking is crucial, and you should be doing it even now.
And the way you begin that networking is, again, I go back to participating in student media, going to conferences, be a part of student organizations, get to know your faculty and department head. I'm very friendly and love to see students, so that I know you and you know me. And then when people do call up and say they have a job, or would I recommend this person, I can give an affirmative, or I can give you a call or send you an email. So you start now.
Mm-hmm.